Hello everyone, welcome to Thursday. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Britney. I am a mom, I am a founder of Whole and Healthy Kitchen, and I am a mindset coach. And I have as my purpose in my life and in my work to help bring peace and health to this planet. And part of the ways that I do that is through Whole and Healthy Kitchen. And through Whole and Healthy Kitchen, I help moms and heart-centered people to learn how to optimally nourish themselves through the power of their mind and through whole foods, so they can nourish themselves, their family, and future generations with joy and simplicity. So you can find out everything that I do at wholeandhealthykitchen.com. I have an amazing course coming up called Kitchen Alchemy. I have a lunchbox challenge coming up to help you people make it practical. But you know what? Today is not about me, and it's not even necessarily about you. This is about us, okay? Like, there's something greater going on here that I'm really called to talk about it, but I want to talk about it without fear, right? So it's just kind of a fact. It's all over the news, it's all over our world, and it affects us, whether we like it or not. So let's get down to business, you guys. We're talking the coronavirus here, okay? And first things first, I'm not an expert, I'm not a professional in this place, I'm a human being. I feel like I'm here to make a difference and an impact in the world, and I want us to all go into a greater direction where we feel healthy and feel good about ourselves and can contribute to the world in a positive way. But I'm just expressing from my research and what I have understood, and it's not coming from the typical news media. This is coming from people who really study this and work in this field. So I'm trying to come at this from the most research perspective possible. So throughout this, you guys, if you have any questions, ask me. I'll do my best to answer, can't guarantee. If you have your own insights on this, share it. Like, let's talk about it, okay? We need to talk about it. And so the main things that I'm going to cover here today, you guys, pardon my notes, this is just how I roll. I'm going to be mentioning like just what's going on with the coronavirus and how different people are seeing it and how we can see it. That helps lessen the fear. Also, the number 2 thing is how we can contribute to the solution and not the problem. And then the third one is I really want to talk about the aspect of boosting your immunity through pantry essentials. And since everybody is going out and buying all the toilet paper and buying all the food and stocking up, you might as well know what you're going to buy anyway, or what is a good thing to buy to actually help you boost your immunity while we're in this process. So, okay, hello to everybody who's coming in, by the way. Whether you're watching now or you're watching later, let me know. Say replay if it's later, and just say what's up if you're here. Hi, welcome. So the first thing that I wanted to say is what's going on, right? So obviously there's mixed reviews. On one hand, you can hear people talking about it like it's just the common cold or the flu, like what is everybody freaking out about? And on the other hand, you'll hear that it's gonna kill millions, maybe multiple millions of people in countries around the world. So it's like, okay, well, how do we do this? So for me, let's look at the cold flu side of things for a minute. When I think of a cold/flu, my daughter or a kid in her class will get the stuffy nose, they'll start coughing, they'll have the stomach ache, whatever symptom it is that appears in the body. As soon as that symptom is recognized, we pull them out of class, we pull them out of play dates. You gotta stay home, kiddo, until you get better, right? The thing with the coronavirus that makes it different is you don't have those symptoms at first, okay? There's like a 2-week period where you don't have any symptoms, but you have the virus, so you're carrying this virus with you wherever you may go, right? So that's kind of a big deal. And also what's a big deal is that there's not quite like over-the-counter things that you can take for the flu or the cold virus. There's not things over the counter that you could take for the coronavirus, only like the regular flu and cold. And also it has this aspect of a cough to it that it's like a dry cough. And like I've heard things, not from the media, but from people who know people, that there's certain people who are generally healthy in their life, very healthy in their life, who get this, who are honestly induced into a coma because the cough is so bad, like it's so terrible, right? It takes a lot of resources from our people to deal with this. So it's, you know, kind of on the realm of common cold/flu, but there's a middle ground, right? And also the side of it's gonna kill millions upon millions. Well, if we don't do anything about it and we don't be mindful about it and we don't approach ourselves as being a contributing member of humanity and do the best we can to love and care for ourselves so we can love and care for others, well, it could get pretty bad, right? This is why we got to talk about it. But for me, it's somewhere in the middle. It's not something that we have to freak out about, but it's also not something that we ignore, okay? So there's some place in the middle. And so this place in the middle is, for me, the aspect of just pay attention. Like, be here, be fully right here, and pay attention and listen to the cues. So for me, the main cues came up like this, and I see that there's comments, and I'm gonna read them in a second because I kind of feel in a flow. But it's talking about, like, I feel like when it comes to this idea of paying attention, finding this place in the middle so we're not freaking out and we're not ignoring it, it's this idea of we really don't want it to spread. I think that's something we can all agree upon. We don't really want to get it. We don't want our families to get it. We don't want our neighbors to get it. We just flat out don't want it to spread. And so I think of it in this way. This is, you know, a big reason, I think, why the airports are closing down, why we're told not to travel right now, why, you know, some schools are being closed, this sort of thing, so that you can contain it. Because remember, it's that 2-week period of time where it's sitting in your body. And I was given this kind of insight through some of my research, okay? So imagine it like this. You're climbing a mountain, okay? You're scaling this mountain. And you can do it in one of two ways. You could do it abruptly and like really force yourself up there and get up there as fast as possible. Or you can get up that mountain slowly and steadily, but you end up getting to the same place. You get to the top of that mountain. Now, when we're taking things into consideration, like we've got overly crowded hospitals, like we do here in Canada, like crazy, you got limited beds, you got limited respiratory systems, you've got limited doctors and nurses who would ultimately also be getting the virus if it's around and in our area. Well, we really would want to take the slow and steady approach, right, to getting up to the top. The patience, one step at a time, slow and steady approach, so that we don't bombard our hospital system, so we don't bombard our nurses and doctors who are trying to care for us, and so that we actually have enough respiratory machines to help these people who need to learn to breathe properly, right? So it's all about the approach. We don't want it to happen abruptly. So saying the attitude of like, it's okay, let everybody just get it, we're gonna get immune to it, well, we don't really want that happening to everybody at the same time. Otherwise, there's not enough help, right? So we wanna make sure there's enough help. So the thing that puts me into this position, right, of being like, okay, well, how can I best help, is remembering that, like, I'm a member of humanity, right? Like, I'm a co-creator of this universe. So how can I best help and best love myself and this planet while I'm at it? This is where it leads me to 5 key tips, okay? So I'll go through those 5 key tips because they're very practical, very simple. But let me just see what you're saying, if there's anything I can comment on right now. Well, that's a good one too, John, and I'm actually gonna get right into talking about that. So let me just get right into talking about this, okay? So there's 5 things that we could do to really help. The number one, you guys, and you should know me by now because this is my background and this is what I do, but it's becoming aware of what your mind is doing with this virus. Is your mind just spewing the fear and spewing the concern and the freaking out and the, you know, just fear? Like, is it really razzling you and making you afraid? Or is it something, or are you taking the approach of being calm, being patient, caring for the present, caring for how you're thinking? It's almost like this coronavirus can literally help us with the process of training our minds so that we don't let fear carry us, right? So that we really can be like, okay, let me listen to my soul, let me listen to my heart, let me listen to spirit, let me listen to guidance. What is most helpful for me to do right now that I can best care for myself and others at this time, right? That's the approach we want to take, not like, oh my God, we're gonna die. Fear's gonna say that no matter what's going on, right? So we just gotta be mindful of our mental well-being, and sometimes what we need to do is meditate more. If you need to learn meditation techniques, I did a live video a couple days ago. Scroll through my feed, reach out to me, talk to people, right? I would be happy to help you calm down if that's what you need. Like, sometimes we just need an outlet of expression to realize, okay, these are just thoughts spinning in my head and I don't need to go along with it. Okay, so the first one is like mind training, thinking things through, not letting yourself get carried away by the fear, but be practical and bring yourself right here, right now. The second one may seem simple, but you guys, I don't think we do it enough. The second one is washing your hands, okay? What we tell Ella is we go like this, sing happy birthday twice, right? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday, you know, calm, slowly, patiently. Happy birthday twice. Make sure your hands are clean. I mean, that's something we should be doing all the time, but it's something that we really should do now because, again, we don't want it to spread. That's our goal here. It's not contributing to the spreading of this virus faster than it needs to be. The third one is the little simple things. If you are going to sneeze, if you are going to cough, put it in your shirt. I mean, that's another something that we already know, basic, but that's okay. It's something that we need to bring back up around. Another one that's really important is this idea of like social distancing, right? And right now, that's like no travel. Like travel on the radar for me right now is no bueno. Like it's just not worth it. Like it's not worth me accidentally going somewhere where I catch something, don't know for 2 weeks, bring it back here and infect my whole community. Like it's just not worth it right now. And also just keeping a distance from really, really busy places where there's lots of people and lots of things could be picked up. Simple, right? That's something we could do right now. And I'm of the frame of mind that it's like, okay, maybe that's a little bit, precautionary, right? Maybe. But in 3 weeks time, like if things get better and the virus comes down and it stops spreading and all that shit, all that stuff, I can say, well, at least I contributed to not a spread, like not, making this bigger than it needs to be. I'm proud of myself. But if I didn't stay home and I didn't take those precautions and it did spread and people did get more sick, well, that kind of sucks too. I don't like that position. I don't want to be in that position. So before I go on to the fifth and the final kind of idea that we can do to really be contributing members of humanity is read this. What are you guys saying? What's up, everybody? Hi, John. Hi, Raina. Raina, you say, my question is, if we focus on it from a place of worry and fear, aren't we adding more energy to it and increasing the chances of attracting it into our reality? Well, that's it. That goes back to the idea that my thoughts create things, right? That it is the cause of my experience in this lifetime starts in my mind and the effect is in my experience. And the thing that we have to remember with something like the coronavirus is this is a co-creative universe, right? Like we have multiple people with multiple ways of viewing themselves and viewing the world. And so we have to take that into consideration. But yes, this is why I'm a mindset coach. This is why I do what I do, because our focus needs to be on what we're thinking more than anything else. So if we want to be a contributing member to humanity and not spread this and not attract this, we want to put our minds on the solution and not the problem. We want to put our minds on loving ourselves and loving our brothers and caring for ourselves and caring for our brothers and sisters, and not on the fear and the freak out. The fear and the freak out adds to the problem every single time. So our main goal, again, is to focus on the solution and not the problem. So yeah, if we don't want to attract into our life, thinking healthier thoughts and happier thoughts is one thing, and also staying away from the places that it may be is another, right? It's all levels that we want to work on and care for here. So thank you for your question right now. I love you. So you guys, this leads me into the last step here, which you guys know I'm jazzed up about, right? The last step here, oh, hey Steven, what's up? He just popped in. The last step here is to boost your immunity. Okay, this is a big one to me because boosting your immunity is literally like enabling you to have like an inner armor of protection before anything can even get in. So we want to protect our minds, our bodies, and our souls with our thoughts, and we want to protect our bodies and our cellular system and our biology with our foods, right? So they kind of work together as a whole and healthy unit of protection. Right? And so when it comes to this idea of boosting immunity, what does that look like, right? What does that look like? Well, simplicity speaking, it means that you want to eat more whole foods, and the less processed, the better. Okay? The majority of whole foods you will find come from nature. They come from God. They are grown on earth. They're grown in trees. They're grown on vines. They're grown on plants. And that's really what we want to stick to, because they're literally created to help build and boost the immunity of the body. So for example, one of the whole foods that I love so much and we have every single morning and every single day is wild blueberries. You can find wild blueberries in the freezer section any time of year. And wild blueberries have something called resveratrol. Resveratrol, okay? Resveratrol is like an antioxidant that works in the body as like that armor that I was speaking of, that literally boosts the immunity and protects the body from getting sick. Okay, so if we got a coronavirus going around, what do you think we want to do? We want to eat as many foods as possible and think as many thoughts as possible that are healthy and going to build that internal armor. Okay, so the things that I always do is drink as much water as possible. Speaking of which, I gotta have a sip of water. It's got lemon in it. I'm still fasting from my morning. I haven't eaten yet. That's a whole other topic. So drink lots of water. Sometimes people will say for women, especially at a time like this, 2 liters of water, like one of those big jugs. Men, 3 liters of water, okay? Lots of water. Fiber is really important. I don't even think people talk about this as much as like a whole food unless you're like in the holistic nutrition phase. Fiber is so important. Fiber is found in the skin of your apples. Fiber is found in flax meal. Fiber is found in any of your fruits and vegetables. Fiber is found in beans and whole grains and lentils and all these amazing things. And that just helps to bulk the bad stuff that is in the body and carry it out, right? So it helps you to like clear things out Another one is fermentation. I see Gina on here. I know you're really big into those. You're so awesome at that. But fermentations, anything like sauerkraut, kimchi. I was doing my honey garlic the other day, fermented honey garlic, kombucha, all these things help the good, healthy gut bacteria to, again, create that armor. And then obviously it's anything, your greens, your vegetables, your fruit, your berries, your beans, your onions, your garlic, your chia, your hemp, your eggs, all of this stuff. And this stuff I get really, really, really deep into in my course because I want you to have a whole and holistic perspective of this and build your house up. But I'm also really touching upon this in my Lunchbox Live Challenge that's coming up on March 23rd that I can put a link below if you want to join. I touch on all this because having whole foods in the meals and the lunch boxes of our kids is so important, and sometimes we just don't know how to do that. So I help you with that. So before I read what else you guys are saying, I'm going to show you my pantry. It's a little, this is just, by the way, like my grain pantry, my legume pantry, like just all the random stuff. My fruits and vegetables are obviously in the fridge. I'm going to Costco today and I'm upping up. But let me show you this, okay? So I've just got this like hanging out here. I'm going to do like this. Ready? Do. How does this work? Okay, so you can kind of see it here, right? I have all my like chickpeas and beans and legumes, all different types of beans and chickpeas. I've also got the ones down here, where are they? Whoops, wrong side. Over here for like sprouting, my red lentils that I love, all my different beans and legumes and grains. I got my rices, my oatmeals, nut butters, some whole gluten-free pastas. We got my hemp hearts, my chia seeds, our favorite like cereal ever, stuff to make pasta sauces. So why I have all this stuff, like all of these like pantry essentials, is because what it means is that anytime I can whip a meal together with what I have in my house, right? So coronavirus, all of a sudden it says, hey, you can't leave your house, you have to stay in. Do you have everything to be prepared? I don't know. Not go crazy. Don't go fear mongering. Don't go, I have to get something today because something bad is going to happen. No, listen to the spirit in you. Take your time. Ask what's most helpful for me to have to stock my pantry in my home right now so that I have healthy whole meals to make and I can boost my immunity while this is going on. Simple, simple questions. So let me see what you're saying here. Baking soda and water to keep body pH alkaline and no bugs can survive that. That's a really good point, Stephen. That's a really good one. Baking soda and water is really good for your pH balance, alkaline body, not acidity. And that's a lot of the time why I do lemon water as well in the morning. That's also really good for that. All these things are amazing. To me, I look at the body as a vessel, right? To me, it's a vessel of communication. It's a vessel of love, right? And so I want to allow my vessel to be as clear and available and open and healthy as possible so I can fulfill my function here. And I feel like that is how we all can see it, right? It's no more or no less to me in my mind. And so that's what we're doing, and that's how we can all look on each other and love them for the love that they are and not the bodysuit that they wear, right? And I feel like this is also important for this coronavirus thing, is that we can now use this. Unfortunately, it has to happen through something that's as terrible as like making people sick and some die, right? But to really take this awareness that like, I want to care for myself most optimally and I want to care for others most optimally. How do I do that today? Right? Just starting with today and slowly take little steps to be able to do that. Unfortunately, it takes something like this for us to maybe have conversations like this and realize and remember how important it is, but it is so important. So I don't know. That's what I had to say. That's what came forward today. I really felt like I needed to be a voice in this, and I feel like we all can be voices in this. And I think the most important thing is to stay calm and to remember like it's really okay, but do your best to contribute to the solution, not the problem. So yeah, I don't know if there's any other questions you guys have or any thoughts that you want to also contribute on. Hey Ashley, hi my beautiful love. Good to see you. Yeah, if there's anything else, let me know. I will answer later as well if this is after I've finished recording. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I also put a little infographic down below this video today that is something that might be helpful to share around as a reminder of small things that we could do each day to help us to do this. If you just want to talk, you know, just have a conversation. I don't care if it's about mindset or food or coronavirus or parenting or whatever. I'm here for you. Just reach out to me, send me a PM. I would be happy to have a conversation with anybody who is inspired to do so. And I think that's it. I think I feel complete. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add or say. Maybe what I'll finish with you guys is let's do a prayer, huh? Like I'm big into that, as you guys know. So let's take a minute. Let's go like this. I'm gonna close this for a minute. So let's see, okay? Feel free to join me. Feel free to not. Dear God, dear divine loving universe, I give my mind and my heart and my hands and my feet to you. Please guide me as to where I should go and what I should do at this time. Please show me how to optimally nourish my body and the bodies of my family. Show me how to train my mind and use my mind in the most loving and clear and patient and focused way possible. And thank you for your love being what is true. And thank you for this reminder being dawned on my mind and on the minds of those that I love and that are listening today and that are around the world. Thank you for us perceiving this coronavirus in the way that's most helpful as possible at this time, even though it is a difficult time for some people. Thank you for your love and your healing, blessing those people who are going through a difficult time right now. And thank you for showing me and teaching me whatever it is that I need to hear and learn. I am yours, I'm available. Thank you and amen. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being here and joining me today. Thank you too, Stephen. I always love seeing you. I'm glad you're back on my radar, as you said yesterday. That's good language. So yeah, that's it. I feel complete. I love you. Peace be with you. If you're called to share this video, fabulous. If you're called to reach out, that's awesome too. And I'll put some links below that might be helpful. I love you. Bye. Oh, where do I even click goodbye today? Too many bubbles.